They go with the former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he gets this one just shy of the 30. They'll mark him down at the 39 time.
Yeah, it takes you back to high school football on a Friday night, doesn't it? When you feel like every eye in the county is on you. In this case, every eye in prime time is on you.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing is Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra.
Touchdown! Philadelphia! DeAndre Swift. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in Week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Osborne motions left. Here's a give to Madison running right. He'll get this up to about the 44. You look at this Eagle defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. Well, this defense for the Eagles, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Stays on his feet. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Now a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
Already at go. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like
us prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. they feel like he can win every battle.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down. Here's Madison running left. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Throwing, Cousins. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goddard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll go Madison up the middle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
On the handoff, it's Madison. There's a nice move, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a give to Madison. And he'll be taken down at the 34. The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Second and 9. Throwing is Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a running formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 34 yards. And the Vikings are back within a score. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Hurts fumbles it. And the Vikings pick up the foot. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hurts. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Following the interception, Cousins. That's down the field for Jefferson. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown! Vikings. Justin Jefferson with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are able to widen their advantage. Joseph on for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Makes the score Vikings 21, Eagles 13.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And it'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.